to like be mentored at all by some of those guys? Like have any conversations with them that you could remember that influenced, whether it was on
I
ice
think,
or off ice?
well, I think it's mostly like, so my first year when I came over, we were 10 guys. So I had like some of these guys like Rich Peverley, Cal O'Reilly, Pekka Rinne. Like we were all like hanging out, and they kind of showed me the ropes. Like I had them, like they had me over for dinners. Like we're all hanging out, and I think that taught me like outside of hockey,
Yeah.
a lot. Like obviously like developing with the language, because I knew my English, but it was like kind of like getting better and better.
You also, and I think given that too, you also understand how these, we'll say NHLers or future NHLer prospects, how they handle themselves and their attitudes probably too. You're kind of wondering if that's how you were raised and born kind of in Sweden, and now you're in North America. Like, oh, I wonder if things are the same way. Like, whether everyone's personality is different.
Yeah.
Some guys are very
Well,
humble. Some guys are
I
extra confident and a little cocky. And yeah, you just want to
yeah.
kind of know.
Well, I think like a big thing too is that, so I moved away from home when I was 16. So I moved, it was only an hour away, but I moved away. I had my own apartment, and I started playing like pro hockey in there.
Yeah.
So I already had my experience of living by myself, which a lot of guys like from college or like juniors or whatnot, when you live with the bill, it's like moving and start playing pro when you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I had that experience already, and a lot of my teammates, like I remembered the GM for Milwaukee when I got down there, and they told me to get a place. They're like, "Yeah, we would like to get you to get a roommate." And I was like, "Roommate? I want to have my own place. Like I've been living by myself for 2 years already." So like that part too is like, it's a huge. I think guys coming from Europe, it's because we have to move away from home. Since there's a lot of guys playing and or grown up, you have like pretty much each town has a hockey team. And then when you start getting better and you move away from hockey for school, then like you start to get more and more mature. You have to take care of yourself at an earlier age.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think, Milwaukee, I played one of my first pro games in Milwaukee there as well. I remember we went to the steakhouse, Justin Abdicator and Jakob Kindle. Jakob Kindle was my roommate on that road trip, and they had taken me out for Ruth Chris Steakhouse there, and it was, I couldn't believe the prices coming out of college. Like looking, I was like, holy smokes! I was under like, I'll pay it with we got per diem and all that, but I was like, right away I was like, oh, okay, well, assuming it was different to me, and it was pretty cool to go with the Abdicator with the experience that he's had, especially in the NHL. He had a great career, has had a great career.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I feel like with the pro hockey player, like it's like everyone takes care of each other. Because I remember when I got called up, there's the older guys that are like, "Oh, hey, come join us for dinner," and then like you go out for dinner, and then they're like, "Oh, we'll pay for you today. Like it's fine. Like don't worry about like," because you check the prices at some of these certain, like you're down in the minors, you're not making that much money, and all the places you stay, it's like the 5-star resorts, and you go out for dinner, you're not going to McDonald's, you're going to a nice steakhouse. And
the lifestyle is completely different, even on just leagues for sure too. And forget the hotel that we stayed at over there. That was nice as well in Milwaukee. Nice little small city there.
Yeah, well, and that's Milwaukee. Like Milwaukee has like a huge impact on me too, because like I was so young when I got over there, and then spending 4 years there, it's like, well, I met my wife there now too. So, but the owner, Harris Tur, like he treated everyone so well. It was like pretty much like a mini NHL organization itself. Like their arena, the rink, Bradley Center, which they tore down now, was super nice. Like it held 18,000.
Yeah, it was a really big rink, and I remember there was no one really there except the they had the super fans, a lot of them along the glass and the boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had, so every time like you play Chicago, there was always like 10,000 people. They had the concerts and everything, but they just like, they treat guys really well. And I had so much to thank the guys there for like kind of teaching me too, the ropes. And it was such a great city too, with, you had the Bucks in town, you had the Brewers in town, and it was just like a big city for coming over, and like a lot to do there compared to some of the minor league cities.
Yeah. Yeah. And just being so I'm running a player development hockey company, not only on ice, but off ice stuff. And just kind of saying what you're going over right now is with your experiences from hockey towards, I guess, self-development. You're learning to take care of your brothers that are on your team and, family away, when we have no hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we all take care of each other and we know how to treat each other. And that's what you learn going through the hockey experience.
Yeah. You pretty much, it is the hockey family. Like every year it's like, this is the group of guys that are going to do it. It's like, okay, if we want to try to win a championship, like this is like, no one's going to come in and save us. It's like, this is the group we have. We have to take care of each other. We have to help each other out. Like you don't leave anyone alone. Like, and that's like, I feel like hockey players in general are really good at doing that. And then we take that with us outside of the hockey. I feel like there's so many hockey players that are great human beings and take that with them for after hockey and even while they're playing and outside the rink.
Right. Yeah, and we call ourselves hockey players just because it's such a general term, but we're even just saying because from our own experience we've had other hockey players that took care of us when we're new players or kids, or we're shy or in like these awkward moments that we kind of need that support from someone else.
Yeah.
There's guys that just have done it over and over and over again, and they don't have to, but they do for sure.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about what we learn as hockey players and that whole hockey experience.
And it kind of makes you feel too. It's like a good feeling when you know, like, okay, here's a new guy coming out, like, and then it's not a battle between the guys, but it's like who's going to take him in and like show him the ropes. It's
right.
It's kind of like it's a cool experience to share kind of like your thoughts and like what you know about the city or how like just helping people out. It's a cool feeling.
Yeah, and those are life skills that is being taught by many coaches, all levels, and hopefully that just continues on in being influenced to these young kids towards, I guess, making the world, I guess, a better place. Really is what we all do, and then also, you're a great person and friend towards others.